You're not actually inside the moment you're living. Something in you is already ahead of it. You think you're just distracted, but you're already leaning into what comes next, before this even has time to land. You're in a conversation. Someone is speaking. And while you look at them, you're already preparing your response. Not because you don't understand, but because something in you doesn't stay. You hear the words, but part of you is already moving past them. Even when nothing is wrong, even when there's nothing to fix, you don't remain there long enough to feel it fully. You don't stay long enough for anything to become what it is. And it feels like it's you doing it. But it starts before that. Before you decide to speak. Before you even register what's happening. Something is already pulling you out of the present, while you're still inside it. And you don't notice when that happens. This isn't about attention. It's not that you can't focus, or that you don't know how to be present. You already are for a second. It doesn't wait long enough to stay. You're watching something, but your hand is already reaching for your phone. You're listening, but another part of you is already forming what comes next. Not replacing the moment, but overlapping it. One part of you stays, another moves ahead, and they don't feel like the same thing. You don't experience it as a split. Feels normal to not fully be there, as if it's natural to never fully stay where you are. So you follow the version of yourself that moves faster, the one that anticipates, the one that doesn't wait, and the moment you're in starts to feel like something to pass through, not something to be inside. You start skipping without noticing. You watch something, but your mind is already at the ending. You're eating, but you're already thinking about what comes after. You sit down to rest, and within seconds you're up again. You're not done, but staying feels incomplete. You don't let things reach their full weight. You cut moments before they settle. You soften reactions before they deepen. You move on before anything can fully form. And later you feel it not as a clear thought but as something missing, like it passed through you without ever becoming yours. So you go back to it. You replay it. You imagine it differently, slower, fuller, more present, closer to what it could have been. But that version never existed while it was happening. And you know this isn't the first time. This didn't start now. You learned early on that staying too long in something had a cost. That reacting too fully, feeling too much, taking up too much time in a moment, could create tension. So something in you adapted. It started moving ahead before anything could expand. Not as a decision, as a function. You don't wait to see what a moment becomes. You move before it does. You shape your experience before it fully exists. Not to control it, but to keep it within limits. So you're not just living your life. You're pre-adjusting it, cutting it, shortening it, anticipating the next version of it. And after a while, that starts to feel like who you are. Like you're just someone who can't stay still. But it isn't. Because if it was, you wouldn't keep feeling like you were there, but never actually inside it.